The North London derby, after it being delayed by a good 6 weeks due to COVID, happened and I wasn't surprised. Part of me, as the weeks were going on in the lead up to the North London derby, with the league being so close at the moment, I did wonder if Spurs could stop Arsenal, if Spurs could, just defend for their lives and mean that they almost gifted Chelsea the title. But Arsenal took all 3 points, 3 goals as well, and it means it goes down to the last day of the season. Arsenal, of course, a point from Chelsea at the moment. Chelsea have Manchester United to play, which could be interesting because United, I have to say, have been brilliant all season. They've just maintained a decent run. And I think this is so important for Manchester United because they have to get all 3 points to ensure that they take that third place spot to qualify for the Champions League, when we all know that Manchester City are just hot on their heels at the moment. So Manchester United must win, Chelsea also must win, and Arsenal must beat West Ham as well. So it is the tightest I've known in the Women's Super League. It's the most exciting end to the season as well, that it all comes down to that Sunday afternoon and all the games happening at the same time as well. So we can only wait and see what's going to happen come Sunday. I don't see Chelsea slipping up, but like I say, Manchester United are a strong side, and to get Champions League football, with only being their 4th season in the WSL, with the investment that goes into the Manchester United women's team and the talent that they have, definitely this is something that they absolutely have to do. So I cannot wait now for Sunday afternoon to see how it all plays out. But let's go back to the North London derby, because it really was a good game. It was at the Emirates. I didn't make it along to this one, but all games now that are happening at the Emirates, you're seeing the fans turn up. It was an evening game as well. It was a 7:45 kick-off, so it's late enough, and we know that us as women football fans, it's not the same crowd that we're expecting to turn out. It's family friendly, obviously a lot more females as well. And I think watching the game on BBC Two on Wednesday night, I did see that there's such a fan base there now for the women's game. They will turn up, they will attend these big stadiums, and they will show the support for the women, which I'm absolutely loving. And that's when Arsenal they really commend themselves. Anytime they're at the Emirates, they absolutely are brilliant. They're so good. And that was the same on Wednesday night. A comfortable 3-0 win over Spurs. Spurs, I think, Arsenal seemed to get under their skin as well. There was 12 fouls, 16 fouls actually by Spurs. And definitely more than a few yellow cards as well. I don't know about you, I like to see that. I like to see that in the women's game. I like to see the aggression and the passion come out. Of course, there's no condoning violence here, but I want to see clubs just fight it out like that. I want to see that rivalry come onto the pitch. We'll get to it in a minute, because I thoroughly did enjoy that moment from Katie McCabe 3 minutes after she came on as a sub, and the aggression that she brings on with her, and the need and the willingness to just win. But yeah, no surprise, Beth Mead opening the scoring again. Caitlin Foord gets a brace as well. Caitlin Foord has had such an outstanding season. I feel she's reliable. She's always either on the wing. Sometimes she takes up that number 9 role as well, and she's an absolutely brilliant striker. She struggled with a little bit of an injury in the middle of the season, but from what it seems, that she's had an excellent season throughout. And Arsenal are so lucky to have, that a person in that position like Caitlin Foord. I mean, you look at Beth Mead, of course, then you've got Viviana Miedema, and now they've got Stina. They've got enough fire and power up there, but Caitlin Foord makes the difference when she is part of the squad, and I think she's an absolutely excellent player, and she showed that in the North London derby on Wednesday night, and getting that brace, you could see how much it means to her as well. I have to say, Viv in the number 10 role, Viviana Miedema, we don't know where she's going to be, come the end of the season. Is this her final season at Arsenal? Is she moving? Is she going to go to Barcelona? She wants to win titles, she wants to win big competitions, and there's a chance that she might not be at Arsenal, come the end of the season, which is sad. I think she'll be massively missed. I want the best player, considered the best player in the world, to be here in the WSL. But yeah, we're seeing her kind of just provide a lot more assists in this role as well. She is obviously playing that little bit deeper. She's never said that she wanted to be a number 9, but she's a world-class finisher. she can do everything, and when she's on her day, there's nobody like her. Of course, she got assist the other night as well, and so many shots on target, just couldn't quite finish the dinner. And Stina Blackstenius, I mean, since she's come in, I think she did show that she was a good signing, but it's kind of slowed off the last kind of couple of weeks. That was her first North London derby, that was her first time playing at the Emirates. Perhaps maybe that played a part into her performance the other night. But no goals at half time, and then when Stina goes off, the 3 goals come in. So it's a very different kettle of fish when she's on and off the pitch. But Jonas Eidevall has strength and depth in that squad for every position. The one that is sticking with me right now is Katie McCabe at left back. Now, looking at the stats going into this North London derby, Spurs have won their last 5. That would have been their 6th in a row in the North London derby. Kate McCabe's been involved in the last 4 of them, and she's been involved in 5 of the goals, assisted in each game. Nobody else has done that aside from Karen Carney. Why was she not in that starting left back position? I don't know. I know that Steph Catley, the Australian, is also having a fantastic season. Good left foot, excellent in that position. But the differences for me is that aggression that I mentioned earlier on, and that fire that Katie McCabe brings to games like these. When she came on, she was on for 3 minutes. She was subbed on, and we saw that side of her come out instantly. What happened was there was a dirty tackle by Sadowski from Spurs on Leah Volti in the midfield for Arsenal. It should have been a straight red. This is where the women's game needs to catch itself up. The refereeing wasn't on at all in that instance. Leah could have been a leg breaker any other day of the week. She's fine, absolutely fine. She managed to get back up, but you could tell she was in a lot of pain. A bad tackle from Zardowski led to a yellow card. Katie didn't like the tackle. Katie booted the ball off Zardowski, and then Clemeron for Spurs had a go at Katie, and then next minute it just erupts, They're getting ready to throw fists, everyone's in the middle. Captain Kim Little's in there, being the peacemaker. I was sitting on the couch with my glass of wine like, lol. It really did make me go, this is what I want to see more of, Nobody got hurt, everyone was fine. There were no punches thrown, but that aggression, that need to win, that, backing your teammates. I want to see more of that from the women's game. We hear it often in the men's game, not that I ever compare the two, but you want to see players that will, walk through fire for their teammates, and I think Katie showed that when she came on the pitch the other night, and I want to see more of her going into next season. I want to see her back in that left back position. But it's like I say, Jonas Eidevall's got strength and depth in that squad. He's got enough players, to bolster out almost 2 teams. But fair play to Arsenal. They're a point from Chelsea. It's all to play for this weekend, and they were fantastic in the North London derby at the weekend. It was a very, very good performance. What's next for Rianne Skinner and Spurs? They had such a comfortable start to the season. They maintained and they dominated that 3rd place spot for the majority of the season, and now they're trickling down. For me, it's an over-reliance on Rachel Williams. We're now seeing Kaya Simon starting to find her form as well, but Spurs have been absolutely excellent this season. They should be really proud of the season that they've had, and perhaps the table towards the end of the season doesn't reflect how good that they've been, but that's football. Other teams have just grown in that momentum, and Spurs have started to trickle down. But decent game the other night, really enjoyed it. All to play for this weekend. I am buzzing for the final day of the season.